Fred here, welcome back to the Gear Obsession channel. In this episode, we'll be taking a look at the Thecus W4000 Windows Server. This is designed to be a storage server. Most of the ones on the market today are Linux-based for the home use market. However, this is one of the rare few that uses a version of Windows Server. Specifically, it's Windows Storage Server 2012 Essentials. Now, most of you don't even want to try this. It is a very niche kind of thing, but if you are an experienced IT kind of person and you are in need of a NAS at home or your small business, this might be something kind of neat to play with or use. Now, I'm going to be using this as my backup server. Right now, I have a NAS and a backup NAS, but they're getting kind of, or at least the backup server is getting kind of old. So here at the Gear Obsession channel / my home, I have a QNAP 231 right here, and that's what I use for all my storage, and I have 2 drives in there that mirror. And my backup, which used to be my primary a long time ago, is this ReadyNAS Duo version 2. It's a pretty old guy, maybe at least 6-7 years old, and I would not recommend Netgear's NASs anymore. By the way, if you don't know what a NAS is, that's network attached storage. Now, for most of you out there, if you're looking for a NAS of some sort for your home to store large files and everything, because you don't want to store them on your computer and you want to have some form of redundancy, I would recommend the QNAP products over everything else. And if you're looking for something that's pretty cheap, like $169, this QNAP 231 is bulletproof. I have been using this thing here. I also have different versions of QNAP, different QNAP products at work, and I have friends that use these guys. This is the NAS of choice for me. Also, I did provide a link in the description box below to this, along with a whole bunch of other things, so you might have to open up the description box to see everything I have down in there. Along with that big box I showed you at the beginning, this Thecus W4000 also came with a network cable. Comes with a power brick, so the power supply is external. I'll let you take a look at that real quick. It's a 12 volt, 8.5 amp, 120 watts. And it also came with a bunch of keys and screws. The keys are for the drives, because there is a 4 drive bay, or 4 drive bays in there. Kind of neat. And you can lock drive bays with the keys. And you get a warranty card. And you get a instruction guide, and it's a Windows Storage 2000. See, really uses Windows. It's quite remarkable that you can get it for the price. Now, the price right now is $312 on Amazon. I provided a link, and on Newegg it is $395. Now, I lucked out. I'm going to tell you right now, I lucked out because they were on Newegg selling this for 50% off, so I actually landed this for $199. So what I recommend to you is, if you are in the market for this particular unit, which I really don't recommend to most people, but if you're in the market for, for a cheap Windows server, keep an eye on those links, and I'm willing to bet that they'll have another deal coming up. So anyway, let's go ahead and go through what this unit has, and at the end I'm going to show you how to do a memory upgrade, which will end up saving you like $100. So this guy's designed for home use or for small businesses between 1 and 50 employees. It works with different cloud services by Microsoft, such as Office 365 and Microsoft Azure, whatever, however you say that. Yes, it does Active Directory, Active Domains. It's scalable. It does storage pools. It does secure user management. It does data deduplication. It does all that stuff that a real Windows server does. It doesn't do Hyper-V. I want to point that out. It does not do the Hyper-V stuff. has an enhanced boot drive inside there. It has an embedded 60 gig solid state drive that houses the operating system, but it really doesn't leave any space for storage. That's where these 4 storage bays come into play. Now you can use the keys if you want to lock it. I don't have any need to lock it here, but all you do is just sort of pull the lever and you just add your hard drives. It doesn't come with any, that kind of storage. You have to buy that, and I'll recommend one here shortly. And you just sort of screw it into that tray, and then you just pop it in there, and it's really simple. Press the button like that. See, it's one of those, click on, click off kind of thing, and you could put 4 drives in there. It comes with a real Windows Server license. It's not one of those weird things where they install it and you have to buy a license. It is a licensed version of Windows Storage Server 2012 R2. Now, this only comes with 2 gigs of RAM. That is barely, that's like the minimum of what that version needs. So I'm going to show you how to upgrade this at the end of this video, if you want to stay with me, on how to save yourself like $100, because it's not too hard, it's not too difficult to install 2 gigs of RAM into this. And if you got the version that's the 2000 plus, the W4000 plus, it's going to cost you $100 to $200. The only difference is the 2 gigs of RAM, which I bought. You could buy a stick for $10. I bought a set for $20, and I saved myself like $100. So let's go over the specs of this guy. Intel Atom processor. It uses the D2701 on that motherboard I'm showing you right now. Comes with 2 gigs of RAM, DDR3, 1333 megahertz. That solid state drive is a Kingston 60 gig. 60 gig drive. Sorry. Now on the back, let's take a look at what's on the back here. Oh, it is, man, it weighs a lot. I'll tell you what, this thing is built like a brick. It is built very, very well. Got my notes there. Don't look at them. Okay, that's where you plug in the power supply right there. Go ahead and zoom in just a little bit. And it helps if I there we go. So plug in power right there. You have a audio line out. There's your VGA out, HDMI. By the way, you don't get very good resolution out of here. This is not meant to be hooked up to a media. It's not meant to be a media center. Don't even try it. The video out is awful. It's not designed for that. It's designed for storage, not as a media center. So a lot of the bad reviews for this unit are because people are trying to use it for what it's not. So with that said, we'll continue on. You got 2 USB 2s here. You have an eSATA, external eSATA right there. And you have 2 Gigabit Ethernet ports right there. And you have the Kingston lock. There's your big fan right there. Also on the front, I should have showed you before I turn this heavy beast around. You have 2 USB 3s right here, and you have your power button there, and then you have some lights that just sort of display drive activity and on off kind of things, and Ethernet status right there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and hook it up to my network, because yesterday I went ahead and did the upgrade and installed the 1 storage drive, because since I'm using this as a backup, I'm not going to go redundant yet on here. And while I do that, what you're going to do is take a look at the upgrade that I did yesterday, so you can sort of see how to add the RAM, as well as how to install one of those drives up front. The next thing we're going to go ahead and do is install a hard drive. Now these Hitachi drives are amazing. They've gotten some very interesting reviews from data centers, professional big data centers, where the failure rate of these are lower than all the other makes. At least on the thing that I read. So I went ahead and found a good deal on this 3 terabyte Hitachi drive that I can't open. And I'll go ahead and put a link in the description box below. I'm going to go ahead and let you take a close look at what I ordered there. Very, very cheap. I think a little bit less than 80 bucks. 3 terabytes. I have these in some serious QNAPs at work. Not one has failed since I bought those QNAPs years ago. They're amazing drives. They really are. And I'm talking literally like 40 or 50, not one has failed. Alright, so getting back to the Thecus, whatever you want to call it. Right, all screwed in. 4 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the bottom. And they're all in. You can see little, whoops, lock there. You don't have to use the key, but it did come with a key, so if you do want to lock them up, you can actually lock it closed. I don't need to do that. This is home use. So very easy. Just slide this in here. Now I don't know if this is hot swappable or not, so I went ahead and turned it off, or made sure it was off. And all you do is bang, and it's in. And we'll go ahead and light it off. See how it works. So I am going to have to initialize the disk. I opened up the disk manager. It should automatically come up with the disk initialization window here. We're going to go ahead, and I don't want this to be a master boot record, so we'll just do a GPT. And we'll go ahead and hit OK. And next thing, see down here, unallocated, so we'll go ahead and create a simple volume and sign it. We'll let it do D, that's fine. NTFS. You give it a volume name. So we'll call it Hitachi 3 TB for 3 terabyte. And quick format, NTFS. And that should be good. Finish. Whoop. Oh, I see some things going on here. I see some disk accesses. So there you go. We are up and running. You can see the network activity light going on there. Since their hard drive is not doing much, not going to see much going on there. But that one light right here will flicker when data is getting written to that Hitachi drive I installed, which I recommend a lot. Those Hitachi drives. There were data centers that did research, and the Hitachi drives did the best. I'm going to zoom out here. You can sort of see all my other junk there. You can see I have a light. That's one of my lights that I use for my videos, big studio lights. Very inexpensive. Found a good deal on it, of course. I'm going to go ahead and scroll around over here. Come in, let you see I'm sort of remoted in. I'm basically going to use the server headless, which is probably the best way to use it. And you can sort of see, I just remoted in. You could do an admin remote in. You can't have multi-users with multiple desktops without buying licenses, of course. But you can admin, you can remote desktop in, which is the best way to access these servers. As you all know, if you're a Windows system administrator or engineer, something like that. So you can see, just wanted to point out that here's your server manager, of course, and I'm even gonna, here's your admin tools. I'm gonna light off Active Directory user and computer, so you can really see that, hey, this really is an honest to God Active Directory machine going on here. Really cool. So you got your group management and GPOs and all that stuff. I don't want to open this up because I don't want you to see the users that I created in here, but I do have several users. Let's see, what else can I do here? So the hard drive, the C drive is the Kingston drive that's in there. So after like 100 patches, when you first load this thing, when it's all said and done, I got 12 gigs free there on the solid state. I could probably do some housekeeping and clean that up. Run a little cleaning, the cleaning tool built in the Windows, and it'll probably free up a lot because there's a lot of residue left over from updates. And there's my Hitachi drive. I went ahead and did a backup and moved everything, from my Netgear ReadyNAS to this guy, and I still have a lot of space for storage. Again, recommend those Hitachi drives. They're killer. They're extremely reliable. I provided a link in the description box below. There are all kinds of links in the description box below. I really think you should open it up, including links to a dude who did a really good review, a very detailed review, much more than me. I'm just a review. I'm not going into the details. I just wanted to show you what I've been up to over the last week since I've been off air. This did occupy a lot of my time. So I'll tell you what, let's do this. I'm going to go ahead and start the task manager. I want you to see now that I have 4 gigs, just where performance is standing. Again, you can see graphics. Graphics is not great on this thing. So there's the CPU going on there. Again, it's a dual core Atom processor, and I think each core has 2 threads, so it would actually show as 4 processors if I open up the resource monitor. We could go ahead and do that. So here's my resource monitor. If I open up the CPU, you'll see. If I whoops, let me just go full screen here. And CPUs. Okay, so yeah. So you see the overall CPU, and then see it says 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 2 cores each core with 2 threads there. So we'll go ahead and close that up. Let's take a look at memory. Again, this see in use 1.9 right there. So if I were to have only the 2 original gigs, this would be doing a lot of swapping to the solid state drive, which is not good. It's just 4 gigs. I wouldn't go below 4 gigs for any kind of Windows operating system, let alone server. So definitely either spend the money, buy the Plus, or buy just a better machine, or get the RAM. Put that RAM in. It's $20. You could get away with $10, and I don't like to mismatch RAM, so I went ahead and bought 2 of those Hynix RAMs sticks, and I provided a link below. Came right away from Amazon, no problem. But take a look. So here's your Ethernet. You can sort of, I forgot what you call it, when you could join 2 of the Ethernet, team them together, I think it's called. You could team these 2 Ethernet ports together, so you could get a lot of speed through there. This is not going to break any speed records. It's not super duper fast. This the performance of this box in every way, shape, or form is yeah. You get what you pay for. But if you want to get your hands wet or dip your toes into the Windows world at home as far as server is concerned, this is a very inexpensive way to get it, especially if you could catch these on sale, like I did for $200. Didn't show you the box that this came in. So there you go. Go ahead and spin her around. There we go. Lots of information. Now, when I loaded this up, when I first plugged it in, it was dirt freaking slow, and when it was doing updates, it looked like it was just thermometer going back and forth. It looks like it was doing nothing. I just had to walk away for hours, and overnight it did finally do updates. It was so slow, it actually looked like it froze several times. I mean, the thermometer would just stop, and then it would inch. And this is before I put the additional RAM in it. If you see, this is a little catch-22. If you put the RAM in before you even start the machine, then as far as warranty is concerned, they could say, well, you broke it when you opened it up and worked on it. So with that mindset, I'm like, okay, I'm going to make sure it works and bring it up. And then the first thing it wants to do is, of course, you go through the wizards and SATA, which is fairly simple for a Windows box. For a normal NAS, though, it's not. But part of that process is updating, getting all those Windows updates, and we're talking like 100. And it's painfully slow. So painful you would almost think it was broke. So I'm willing to bet that part of the reason that this thing got such terrible reviews is because of that. They should have never shipped it with 2 gigs of RAM. However, their mistake was my joy, because I was able to get a hold of one of these for $199, probably because they can't sell them because of such terrible reviews, and because idiots are trying to use it as a media center, which it's not. Again, video out is terrible. Now, I also provided a link because what I wanted to do is, it doesn't have any backup disks with it. So if you need to reload, you can go to a link I provided in the description box. It's called the Thecus Recovery Images. And then I have a link to their FTP server, and you could actually download the image. So if you have to reinstall the OS, so I went ahead and created a bootable USB drive with the image. So if I ever had to recover this server, I have it. Or if I want to change out the system disk, I can do that. That solid state Kingston drive. But it's functional, it's good, and remember to keep your data separate from the operating system solid state. They call it embedded OS, but it's on a solid state drive. Licenses, real Windows license is a sticker on top. I'm not going to show you. I mean, this is really cool that I have a Windows server at home, bought and paid for, licensed and everything. For me, that's exciting. I'm a geek, and I'm a Windows system administrator, so for whatever it's worth. For most of you, 95% of you, do not get this box. It will drive you crazy. You will lose all your hair. Get the QNAP. Get that QNAP 231 if you're looking for something budget. If you're looking for something as far as media center, or if you want to do virtual machines and everything, QNAP got you covered there. So check out the QNAP link that I provided there for the 231, and then if you want more, look at some of the other ones that are available on Amazon, because that's where I got my 231. I got it on Amazon a couple years ago. I don't know if I ever did a review on it, and the thing is just rock solid. It just keeps on working. The Ready NAS is slow as mud. It is too slow. I actually had one of the Ready NASs fail at work. I never had a QNAP fail. And that Netgear Ready NAS that I got, those things are discontinued anyway. So I wouldn't recommend, it feels like it's made solid. So anyway, getting back to the Thecus W4000, which I'm going to use up as right now, it's going to be the backup NAS in the Gear Obsession household. I got some pros and cons written down here before we put this video in the can. Pros is you can get into a real honest to God Windows server with a real license and everything for in this case $313. If you're lucky like me and catch it on sale, maybe as low as $200. If you were to buy that version of Windows Server, Windows Storage Server Essentials, it would cost you $400 by itself, just the server software license. So take that for what it's worth. build quality, it's solid. I've had this thing open, I put the RAM in it. It's a very solid, well built machine. I'm very impressed with the build quality. Now let's talk about the cons. I don't like the external power supply, but it does keep heat down in there. The video output, I think it's basic 1024, not 768, I think it's 1280 by 1024 video max resolution. That's why I'm saying it's not good for a media center. It's using the basic Windows Microsoft driver, so it's really not intended to, be looking at it and, messing with the machine other than basic administration on the monitor or headless and just remote in. Nothing else. That's what it is designed to do. No expansion at all internally. Now you can hook up things USB or it has the eSATA external, but you have no extra slots on that motherboard. There's no space anyway to add anything. Your only expansion internally is adding 4 drives. Really good. And you put in the SATA drives, which is great. I think SATA is the best option out there for home and small business anyway. I wouldn't use anything else. And I would, again, recommend Hitachi. I provided a link to the Hitachi 3 terabyte drive that I bought. They do have Hitachi drives that are designed specifically for NASs. Check them out. I think it was Google that did a lot of research on, because Google has an enormous amount of storage, and they did some research on drive failure, and the most reliable brand that they had in their data centers were Hitachi. So ever since I've read that report, all the drives that I buy for the NASs at my work and the ones here are all Hitachi, and I've never had one fail. So take that for what it's worth. And the other big con is this needs memory out of box. Now you could spend the extra money, a couple $100, and get the W4000 Plus if you don't want to open it up and add the RAM. Or you could do it yourself and it'll cost you $20, and you could up it, and you're basically just made the value of the NAS you just bought like $100 to $200 more, which is pretty cool. Which is what I did. I like doing that. Alright, so I think I got everything covered. Lots of links again. Open up the description box below if you're still with me. I can't believe you're still with me. Long, boring video. And it's the first one of the year. So let's close things up. It is a new year, 2017. I did not do any videos since before Christmas. I decided to take a break. I decided to invest time with the server here, which took a lot of time to set up because Windows is like that. And I did a lot of shopping and relaxing and things like that. Try to enjoy some time off. I don't do any vacations. This is sort of my vacation, even though I need a real vacation here soon. And so let's wrap this up. I hope you and your family have a great new year wherever you are. Also, I need you to do me a favor. Asking you to like and subscribe ain't enough. I don't know what's going on with Google. They're trying to push their own content on YouTube because YouTube is owned by Google. And for little operations like me that do videos as a hobby, it's getting harder and harder to survive doing this stuff. And I don't survive just doing it. I have a day job, but the amount that I'd get out of it as far as cost and payment from YouTube is getting smaller and smaller. And one of the things that you got to do to try to keep you guys sort of informed when I post a video is now there's a bell, a notification bell that's somewhere above the video, up there somewhere, I don't know. Click the bell and it'll let you know that I posted a new video. Or I also, every video that I post, I put up on my GearUpSessionDeals.com website. So you'll see all the videos, and occasionally I'll post a good deal if I come across it on there also. Now, so if you help me out, go ahead and do like one or two of those things. You could subscribe to that blog, the Gear Obsession Deals blog. That would be kind of cool. Then you would get an email from that I posted something. And I think that's it. I think that's it. Cool. Just look at my Ethernet bandwidth there. Alright, thank you very much for joining me here at the Gear Obsession channel. I really do appreciate every friend, viewer, subscriber, and especially you. And I hope you have a great day or evening. Take care.